Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Peter and Drew are watching Death Going Camping. I'm here with my little States pup who's wagging his tail at me. Went to the hospital today. Saw my Katie. I've got some good news. She's finally got a discharge date. I'll be picking her up from the hospital on Thursday and taking her to her parents' house in San Leandro. She's going to have to stay there for a while she continues to heal and to get stronger. She needs to get her legs worked back up and strong enough to be able to make the step down the boat, which is pretty big. The first step is like, I don't know, 16, 18 inches, something like that. Hopefully, you know, hopefully she gets stronger faster. I'm gonna be there with her, taking care of her and doing physical therapy with her. So I'm really gonna be kind of focused on her legs and getting her strength up so I can get her home to me, to my house, to our yacht, so that she can start to heal up and we can get back to our regularly scheduled programming, get back to living life. I can't wait for her to be discharged, but I can't wait even more for her to come home to me. Little puppy States hasn't seen his mama lady in almost 2 months. So I can't wait to see what his reaction's gonna be like. Yeah, I just go to the hospital for a couple of hours and yeah, he's bending himself in half wagging and jumping all over me. I can't imagine how excited he's going to be to see his mama again. Uh, he's a good boy, but he's definitely his mama's boy. You know, she picked him out. Katie's never picked out a puppy before. And everybody that's out there with the dog, you don't necessarily pick the puppy picks you. I'm a huge dog person, so I didn't want to have any part in the process. I wanted it to be a special and unique thing for Katie to be able to pick her own puppy. I would have wanted them all. I'll take that one, that one, that one, and that one. But he definitely chose her. She said, I told her, what you do when you're looking at a puppy. You want to put them on their back and you want to take their paws. If you put them on their back and they let you take their paws, it's going to be a good dog. But so she did that and then she picked him up to look at her. And I totally believe it because he still does it. Said he took his nose and just stuck it right on her nose and just stared at her. I pick you. He'll be kissing on you, and then I'll just sit there. He's a good boy. Um, we've been in contact with the people that had the puppies for a while. So he was a big reason for the trip when we picked up the camper. Because if I got a camper, Katie got a puppy. That was the agreement. I feel like I came out on top on that one. uh, but anyway, he's a good boy. He is a federally licensed assistance dog, registered to me as a hearing companion. Been training him basically every day since we picked him up. He's a real good boy. He alerts me in a few different ways when people are around or when somebody's trying to speak to me and I don't acknowledge him. It's because I don't hear him. So he'll usually jump up on my leg and look at the person. He's still in training. The one thing is here on the yacht, is he's too alert, so he barks at everybody that's walking by. But he doesn't really bark too much at the strangers. He barks to my dock mates that he knows, like, "Hey, come over here, say hi, say hi." Anyway, so I guess that's an update on my beautiful wife finally getting out of the hospital. So that's some news. I've been waiting on good news for a long time, and I finally got some. I mean, I've been piled down with bad news and things. Seems like nonstop since before Katie got sick. But I'm finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, they say it's always darkest just before the dawn. And I'm starting to see the sunset or sunrise in the horizon. I'm starting to see the light. I can't wait to be standing in its glory next to my beautiful wife. But I guess I'll kind of move on from there. So, welcome to Story Time with Pete. When I was in probably like 6th or 7th grade, maybe 5th or 6th grade, something like that, somewhere in there. Went camping with my brother and a friend and his family that lived up the couple houses up from us. And we went to Ice House, which is in Sierra Nevadas in California. It's an awesome spot. I've throughout my life, I can't even count how many times I've been to that place. But obviously, this is before I met Katie. So we did, kind of old school, sleeping bag and back of the pickup type of camping. On that trip, I had my first beer. This isn't beer. And it gave me a wicked headache. So the next morning, I had a pretty bad headache, and my brother and everybody went down onto the lake, and I stayed back. Took some Tylenol or aspirin, whatever we had, and I was sleeping in the back of the truck, and headache wore off, and I started to wake up, and I could hear something outside the truck. His dad had like a big Chevy, lifted up, 4x4 type thing. So I could hear something outside the truck, and as I sat up, and I looked down, a bear is looking right at me, like 3 feet away from my face. And he lets out a growl and kind of swipes at the ground and moves towards the truck. And went into fight or flight mode. That was a big ass bear. So I went with flight, and when I jumped out of the truck on the other side from the bear, I was running in midair, and when I hit the ground, I was going as fast as I possibly could. It's a flat campground. The only place I could have ran would have been to go downhill. That's what you're supposed to do to get away from a bear, is run downhill. They can't run as fast. But I'm just making tracks, and the bear is definitely gaining on me. I'm screaming for help. I'm screaming bear. And it happened. A little old lady with a broom came out of her campground swinging it at the bear, and the bear stopped in its tracks. She's screaming at it, she's swinging the broom at it. Didn't actually hit it, but it scared the bear off, and the bear goes running off. I go down to the lake. I go down to the lake, and I tell everybody what happened, and they all think I'm full of shit. I think I made it up. Until we got back up to camp, and you can clearly see the bear tracks. And then the little old lady that was camping down the way, she came over to just make sure that I was okay. Well, that was actually my second encounter with a bear. The first one, I was a lot younger. I don't remember how old I was, but I was really young. Maybe like 6 or 7, something like that. Went on a family trip to Yosemite. And we're there for a couple of days. We stayed in those. I haven't been there since I was in junior high, but they used to have these like adobe walled little cabin things with a canvas roof. that just had like little beds in them or cots or something. Uh, kind of one night, winding down for the night, and everybody's getting ready for bed. I'm not just the youngest in my immediate family. I'm actually the last one born in my entire family. So as a kid, everybody's always watching out for me. It was kind of annoying. But anyway, you can't help when you're born. Uh, so it was time to go, brush your teeth and get ready for bed. So my mom walks me to the bathroom, and I'm sure it's probably changed by now, but there used to be two entrances on each end of the bathroom. So I walk in, walking over to go over to the sink to brush my teeth, and I look over, and there's a bear cub drinking out of the toilet. So it didn't see me. I just kind of backed up slowly, and I got to the door, and I go, "Mom, there's a bear in here." "No, there's not. Brush your teeth." "No, that's a bear." "That's a bear. That ain't a big dog. That's a bear." So she comes in there, kind of, come on, just go brush your teeth. So she comes in thinking I'm full of shit or that it was just a dog. So she comes in, with me, and she looks over. She sees the bear. The cub sees her. The cub startles. Right as the cub startles, Mama Bear comes in the other door. Sees us by her cub. She stands up and yells out a roar. The cub runs towards her. My mom grabbed me by the hair and took off running. We ran over and jumped into our car. At this point, kind of all hell broke loose in the park. Rangers are running around. People are running around screaming. There was a family across from us that had all their food in a station wagon. Bear's over there just rocking the car. I guess what it turned out that happened was somebody had been dumping their bacon grease down the sinks in the bathroom. And that's what attracted the bears in there. I think there was probably like 4 or 5 bears running around the camp that night. The Rangers came out with tranquilizer darts and rounded them all up and, got them out. Pretty sure they released them back into the park somewhere. Nobody got injured, so I don't think they put any of them down. I've had a few run-ins with bears throughout my life. That's why they scare the crap out of me. Sorry, he's alerting me that somebody's coming, but I don't see anybody. So yeah, that was Yosemite. A few years later, went back with a friend. When I was in junior high, and We did the whole hike up to the top of Half Dome, and that was super awesome. Yeah, looking down at the river from up there, the people just look like ants. Um, so that was awesome. Uh, um, did that, was kind of tuckered out. Um, went down to the beach in the evening along the river there and was just kind of relaxing with my brother and my friend. I ended up dozing off for a little while and I got woke up with sand and water being thrown on me, and I thought it was my brother and my buddy fucking with me, or messing with me. So I kind of woke up, kind of startled and like, angry, like, oh, okay, you guys better run, But I woke up and I sit up and I'm like, I don't know, maybe 10 feet away from the water's edge. And just in the water a couple of feet is a big old black bear fishing. And that's why I was swiping at the water. Uh, I don't know, that thing could have came over and sniffed on me as I was asleep. It was so close to me. It didn't see, it was paying attention to what he was doing, and I was upwind from him. So, back up very quietly, very slowly, until you are on the road, and then I ran my ass back to camp. So, had a couple more, but none of them as close of encounters as that. It's funny, I was with a bunch of friends one time. We rented this mansion up in Lake Tahoe on the Nevada side. It was actually the famous radio talk show host Casey Kasem's house at one point. And so we rented that. It was kind of a combination for a few people's birthdays and a couple of people's anniversaries. States. That's enough. Thank you. Hey, that's enough. Thank you. So everybody pitched in to rent the place. I think we got it for like 3 or 4 days, something like that, on a long weekend. So I was telling, I was telling everybody the stories. Now I was there with my ex-wife, and she knows these things to be true. But everybody else is kind of like, yeah, right, whatever, man. Yeah, that didn't happen. Full of shit. As I'm telling this story, I'm sitting with my back towards the house. People I'm telling the story to, they're sitting along the deck with their back to the forest. And as I'm telling the story, you guys think I'm full of shit? My buddy Ryan, he was there. He was like, "No, he ain't full of shit, man. This kind of shit happens to this guy all the time, man." So as I'm telling him the story, I look behind him, and guess what I see? less than 100 yards away. Yep, a bear. Guys, don't believe me. This kind of stuff happens to me all the time. Look behind you. Everybody busts out their cameras and everything, you know. It's kind of funny. I think that'll do it for today's video. I'm really happy to give that update about my Katie coming out of the hospital. Not necessarily coming home yet, but you know she's getting out of the hospital. So I hope you guys like this episode. If you did, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, and comment. I'd really like to interact with people in their comments. Something you'll see in my videos in the future when I'm learning how to edit and everything, doing the adventure trips. Something you'll see me doing is writing. I'm working on writing 3 books, 2 of them actively. One of them is just kind of an idea that I've got kicking around in my head. But with my wife being in the hospital, I just really haven't had the mental capacity to try to stay focused. That, and I want to find some inspiration being in the outdoors. So I look forward to getting back to writing. So yeah, that'll do it. Again, please comment. I would, if you guys have a bear story, or a Tahoe story, a Yosemite story, you know, I'd love you to share that with me. So thanks for watching another episode of Def Gowan Camping. Peace out.